citizens of Amazon Prime, I'm Anika Chung. Welcome back to my channel. It's been 33 years since the original Coming to America, John Landis and Eddie Murphy's 1988 blockbuster comedy hit about an African prince who travels from the fictional African kingdom of Zamunda to New York to find his bride. A brand new chapter with a new generation of future queens and kings. Coming to America 2, directed by Craig Brewer, and it's starring an ensemble cast. You have Eddie Murphy, Arsenio, Hadley, Louis Anderson, John Amos, James Earl Jones, Wesley Snipes, Tracy Morgan Leslie Jones, Jermain Fowler, and many more. It just goes on, but there's a phenomenal cast. Oh my gosh, yeah. In the great nation of Zamunda, Prince Akeem is enjoying his life with Lisa and their daughters and finds out that this man, I don't know his name, but I'm gonna call him Mufasa.
Follow the Thunderbird. It will take you to your boy. Follow the Thunderbird.
He tells Akeem that he has a bastard son in Queens, New York. It's shaking up things in the palace. Lisa is not happy because their eldest daughter, Mika, was promised to be the next heir, but only a man can rule Zamunda. Mika, who is rightfully pissed off that all her training and studies, she's been kicked to the curb in favor of some aimless new sibling she's never met. Oh boy, sibling rivalries. Don't you just love them? Akeem's father has passed. Akeem is now king and focusing more on the kingdom than his family. So Akeem and Semi embark on a mission back again to America to find his son and bring him to Zamunda to be the prince and bring peace between him and General Izzy of Nexdoria by marrying his daughter. Since Lavelle and his mother are trying to adjust in Zamunda, Akeem is trying to bond with them, teach him how to be prince, and completing these wild important tests. Lavelle is trying to adjust to his new life as prince, but is having difficulty. While his mom is just having a good time, Lavelle meets Marembe, and they're having a good conversation, and she gives him an inspirational pep talk and a little story about how his father went to New York finding his bride. He is back on the horse and brings his uncle Reem for support and creates his own personal spin and style as prince. And Lavelle reveals to his father that he's having feelings for Marembe, and Akeem isn't having it at all, and he's becoming like his father and basically chasing everyone away. So he runs to McDowell's, sweeping and retaining his thoughts. The conversation that he had with Lisa's dad definitely made him realize what he is doing is not cool. He's doing it at the cost of his kingdom, but not really thinking about his family. And he must set things right. I had a good time watching this movie. It brought back good memories when I first watched the original film. This was so hilarious, so many cameos, but I didn't get to see more of Akeem and Semi and the other characters they played, especially the barbershop barber artist Mr. Clarence and his friends. They were all hilarious. It was great to see them. They had jokes for days. And the band Sexual Chocolate, oh my gosh, they were terrible before, but they just gotten just a little bit better.
Big boy good.
This story is more focused on Lavelle and the new generation in Zamunda. But I was glad to see more of Zamunda, the atmosphere of the wildlife of some of the animals. With this sequel, it's kind of similar to the original story, except it's in 2020 and there's a new villain. What would have made this sequel or possibly a third film interesting if they added this story in the film of Zamunda's hidden treasure that once belonged to a king that ruled Zamunda. Heard this story from a wise man, but info gets leaked to Akeem's enemy Izzy, and he wants to find it and become famous. Kind of like an excavation, kind of like an Indiana Jones kind of vibe. Maybe something to add to the third film. It'd be more of like an adventure, but something really cool. At the same time, there's humor as well too. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Let's talk about the costumes. Aren't they gorgeous? In 2019, Ruth E. Carter won an Oscar for creating the fashion of Wakanda. It's the only thing she would follow that by tightening her stitches onto the attire of Zamunda. Everyone in Coming to America 2 looks spectacular, from the soon-to-be king, Prince Akeem, to the rose petal flowering woman, once again led by Gracel. The majestic patterns are colorful, the fiery crafted angle of the fabric rising in the air with that fierceness and elegance. Indeed. Acting is really good. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio are fantastic, especially Arsenio playing that Mufasa-looking character. I could not stop laughing. It was great to see Tracy Morgan and Leslie Jones. They brought a lot of humor to this film. Jermain Fowler was good, but I don't think he was a right choice for Prince, but definitely a royal ambassador for sure. Kiki Lane was excellent as her character Mika. Her bow staff skills were on point. She is fierce but has a heart. And South African actress Nomzamo Mbatha was fantastic and graceful. I apologize in advance if I did not pronounce her name correctly. Wesley Snipes usually plays in action movies, but seeing him in Dolomite and as Izzy in this film, he stole the show. He was funny, especially his entrances were so elaborate with the drumline and dance moves. And Tiana Taylor's character had the coolest introduction as well. The African dances were so hype. Here is one interesting fact you may not know about Coming to America 2. Colin Jost's character is a relative of the Duke brothers, who were in the antagonists in the 1983 Eddie Murphy film Trading Places, and also the homeless duo that Prince Akeem gave money to in the first film. Pretty cool. This was all filmed at Tyler Perry Studios. I wish there was a Tyler Perry studio being built in Toronto. That would have been so hype. Coming to America is like watching a high school reunion with all your favorite characters all back, and of course new additions as well. What you guys think about the movie? Let me know in the comments below. I'm your host, Ainika Chung, and I'll see you next time on my next movie and trailer review. Love yourself always, and remember, be excellent to each other. Alright guys, see you on the next one. Cheers!